Opuwo is the last of the safety net. Beyond this point, the crew of Tusk Tyre is about to disappear. For the next 8 days and 1,000 kilometers, there are no shops, no fuel, and absolutely no backup. As they drop into the Hoarusib River Valley, the road vanishes, and in its place, a shifting path of treacherous soft sand and ancient stone. This isn't just a drive, it's a journey through a landscape 4 billion years in the making. Welcome back to Tusk Tyre Overlanding.
Good morning. I'm standing here in the Hoarusib riverbed, close to a little village called Otjiu. What a wonderful evening it was. We had an elephant come visit us very close to camp. One of the desert elephants. And it was just an awesome experience filming her and taking some nice pictures of her. I didn't expect the desert elephants to be here, but the dung, as we drove to camp, the dung was all around. So we left Opuwo Falls yesterday morning at about 9 o'clock, drove all the way to Opuwo, did the last stock up of groceries, and we filled up our diesel tanks, and we got to about 80 k's from Opuwo on the way to Rupembe, where we're gonna turn north into Rooidrom, Marianfluss, that place. Just after Kaokoland, that small village, the roads completely washed away. They must have had one massive storm. That road turned into a dry riverbed, which was very slow going. The graders are in the vicinity. They are busy fixing up some of the pieces, but I think it's still going to be a while before that road is completely 100% possible, although it is possible at the moment. It's just very slow going. And then we dropped down into the Hoarusib River Valley, and eventually we got to Otjiu, where I am now, and we set up camp. So for today, tear down camp. I've got a flat tire again, so I need to plug that, and then we're on the way to Rupembe and turning north to Rooidrom Marianfluss. It's going to be an awesome day today.
Goes quiet, Otjiu under a heavy sky, dark clouds hanging like old stories, and the sun still dared to try. A riverbed of dust and silence, a horizon cut in stone. Then the light found the underside and turned the night to gold.
And I watched the shadows soften as the wind held back its cry. The world was slowly opening, but barely saw.
Red and orange storm fire glowing, painted under cloud and flame. As the sun falls low and holy, calling every road by name. In that last light we felt it. This land rewrites your heart. Oh, you set the sky on fire, and we knew a new start. Sunsets fade into the distance. This one stood and sang aloud. Deep red poured across the bottom of a dark and towering cloud. No words can hold that moment, so we let the silence speak. While the desert drank the daylight and the stars began to peek.
If drums can carry beauty, if shadows can reveal, then maybe every hard road has a soft edge you can feel.
Hold on, let it wash through. Let the sky teach you again how endings turn to breathing, how the night becomes your friend. Red and orange stormfire glowing, painted under cloud and flame. As the sun falls low and holy, calling every road by name. In that
Last light we felt it. This land rewrites your heart. Oh, you set the sky on fire.
and we knew a new start.
Between Otjiu and Marble Camp, the road turns into a moving postcard. Heavy clouds hang low, rain teasing the hills in the distance, and the light keeps changing every few minutes, soft in one, dramatic in the next. It's the kind of drive where you don't chase speed, you chase perspective. We're quiet more often than we talk, just taking it in. Valleys opening, ridge lights stacking up, and the track heading through it all. And then Stefan starts seeing the land differently. He's a qualified geologist, so while the rest of us are focused on the scenery, he's reading the landscape, pointing out the shapes, the layers, the way the rock tells a story of pressure, time, and change. What I love is how that shifts the whole group. Suddenly it's just not just beautiful, it's meaningful. Every bend becomes a page, every ridge a clue, every riverbed a reminder that this place was being formed long before we ever arrived. And as Marble Camp gets closer, it feels like we're not just driving through Kaokoland, we're starting to understand it.
Hi, I'm Stefan, and I did geology at university, third year degree, but I'm more of a qualified chemist, but I know a little bit about the geology of this area. So this part of Namibia, the northern part, the Opuwo area, Rupembe, Opuwo area, is an area in Namibia where you can find some of the oldest rocks on Earth. Some of these rocks date back to 4.2, 4.6 billion years ago. It's part of the base rocks of the Earth. And this area is particularly known for the tectonic activity that happened in this area between 4.4 and 2.2 billion years ago. And when we look around here, Cornelia, I don't know if you will be able to show us the topography here. So when you look at these mountains over here, you'll see that, like for instance, the one maybe on that side there, if you turn the camera a little bit, you'll see that there are some of the rock formations that look like they're standing upright. So you can see the dark rock formations there with some white parts between the dark areas, and that is where the tectonic activity and movement in this area turned the horizontal rock 90 degrees upwards. Now this is called mesomorphic formation of the rocks and the mountains around here, where there was magma coming from the bottom up as part of the tectonic activity that happened in this area, and basically it's called mesomorphic transition of the rock. So the sandy sediments were then transformed into sandstone that we can see today. So I'll give you an example of the sandstone. So this is sandstone, and when you look closely you'll be able to see that there are some in the rock here. So you've got a light layer, a reddish layer, and then a light layer on top again. Now this is typically rocks that form in fast moving water where there's no silt sedimentation, so it's only sand. The silt has been washed out, so it's only the sand that has been packed together, and when it gets then subjected to high temperature and high pressure, it transforms into sandstone like this. Now when you knock the two pieces together, you can hear that it's maybe one of these. You can hear that it's quite dense, so it's very dense sandstone, and this is a very good material for building as well. So you'll see that some of the older houses have been built with sandstone like this because it's easy to shape, and it's very hard as well, very durable. Now we've got some what is called laaklip in Afrikaans, slate in English, and you'll see here that there are very fine layering that occurred over here, and this is typical of very deep water, still standing water, where the silt is aggregating at the bottom of the lake. And again, when you get high temperature from magma movement, you get mesomorphic transformation of the silt, and then it turns into slate like this. Now you'll see that in the hills over here, you'll see a lot of slate formation that happened over here. So this was typical of a very deep lake that was in this area, with a lot of silt that settled at the bottom of the lake, and when the magma moved in as part of the tectonic activity, it transformed into the slate that it is today. So when you look at the rocks formation in the mountains over there, on the left hand side, you'll see that the angle of the layering of the rock is about 40, maybe 50 degrees. But when you look at the one straight in front of us, it's still very horizontal. So it means that there was a lot of folding of the earth that happened in this area as part of the tectonic activity, and therefore the folding of the earth caused these mountain ranges to form in its current state. So that's a little bit about the history of this area. There was obviously a lot of water at some point in the past, as is evident from the slate formation, and as because of the sandstone that we find in this area as well. So gives you a bit of the history. Thanks, Corne.
Thanks, Stefan. Really appreciate the information about this area. It makes it very, very interesting. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Ja, gee baie, net 'n happie. Maak julle vir ons?
Ons maak weer lekker vars broodjies van Opuwo. Wat ons gaan
Van Opuwo?
Ja, ons het nog worsies. Wat het ons Opuwo worsies ons nog iets van. Okay, so koolvleis en kaas broodjies. Koolvleis broodjies wat ons maak. Met dit kaas en
So this is our lunch stop scenery. And of course, the boys are playing.
Ja, hier is Duitse meier.
Ons het ook
Hier
van
is Duitse meier.
Dis Chippy Meier. Chippy Meier. Jy het dit wat gebruik.
We arrived at Marble Camp, checked in, dropped the trailers, and now we're on the way to the marble mine. Let's go see what it's all about.
Right here in the heart of Kaokoland, these quiet ruins are the remains of an all-dimension stone quarry. A place where the land was once cut into massive blocks, not for gravel or ore, but for marble and hard decorative stone. This mine sits on a long, pale marble ridge, flanked by darker surrounding rocks, and that contrast you see in the hills isn't just beautiful. It's geology leaving fingerprints across the landscape. The reason it mattered to miners is simple: strong stone, striking color and pattern, and rock that can be cut into clean blocks for building and finishing. Local accounts say operations here stopped in 1997. After that, the area saw very little industrial activity that brought real benefit to the community. Over time though, something important happened. This site became part of a different story. A community rest camp and a stopover that supports local conservation and community structures today. So when we stand among these abandoned blocks and broken machines, it's more than a ghost mine. It's a reminder of Kaokoland's extremes, resource and remoteness, hardship and resilience, and how this place keeps finding ways to turn the past into a future.
Good morning. Here from mobile campsite in Kaokoland, Namibia. Today we're heading down to the Marianfluss over Rooidrom Pass, and I don't know what to expect as I've never done Rooidrom Pass, so it's going to be interesting today to see what happens on the Rooidrom Pass and if it's possible for me and how long it will take us to get there. Yeah, once you're in the Marianfluss and something goes wrong, you don't call for help, you solve it. So stay tuned, let's see what happens. Start this train, let's roll. We are at the start of Rooidrom Pass, but the videos doesn't do justice to the obstacles and the descent and the ascent of the hills, but I'll try my best to get you the good footage.
Jy moet vir papa kyk.
Ons
Right, Motsumi made it up Rooidrom Pass. The top is about 800 meters away, but Motsumi just makes it so easy. A lot more easier than it is. Wait, Stefan's turn. En Stefan, jou drywerwiel hier op hierdie rand. Ek weet mense wil hom gewoon net buitekant vat, maar daar is net so drywerwiel reg so, kom. Hier is nog reg, bietjie passenger, bietjie nog passenger. Jy kom reguit, jy gaan nou linkerwiel op. Kom, jy is reg, stadig net, daar staan hier die volgende trappie. Ja, maar die is reg, okay, bietjie drywer. Kan jy vorentoe kom, nog bietjie drywer. Reguit so. Reguit, jy's nog reg. Bietjie passenger. Gaan net agter toe, band hom net bietjie. Through the Marianfluss now. It's that calm kind of driving. Red sand under the tires, a bit of corrugation, but nothing hectic. It's actually lekker. You can relax, look around, and just let the valley do its thing. I keep catching myself slowing down for no reason. Just because every angle looks different. 1 minute the light is soft, and the next it's like the whole place is glowing. We're just ticking along on the way to Camp Synchro, where we're gonna camp tonight. We're taking as it comes. There's no rush, no pressure, and honestly, this is the kind of road that makes you grateful you brought the cameras, because it's not about the obstacles today, it's about the feeling of being out here. I hope this footage is good. I've mounted the camera on top of the roof on a suction mount, and I'm talking through a mic inside the car. I hope it works. So we're almost at Camp Synchro. Catch you when we're there.
Welcome to the Marienfluss, one of Kaokoland's great open valleys, stretched out between rugged mountain ridges running down towards the lifeline of the Kunene River. From the ground it already feels endless, but from the drone you see the real scale. A wide, pale valley floor, red sand and grass tones, and those blue-grey mountains holding the horizon like a wall. This is a harsh place that survives on small margins. Rain can be scarce and unpredictable, yet fog can roll in on many days of the year and soften the dryness. The mountains rise high above the valley, so you feel that dramatic drop from rock to plain. And still, life is everywhere. Plains with springbok and ostrich, and grazing country for the long-horned cattle you'll sometimes spot far out in the distance. But there's another layer to this place. one you don't see from a drone. In Kaokoland, mountains aren't only landmarks. For local communities, they are sacred sites where traditions are respected and people move with care. So, as we drive and fly over the Marianfluss, we're not just filming scenery, we're moving through a living landscape, ecological, cultural and spiritual, where respect matters as much as the route.